What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bourbon Blind. I'm Kyle.
I'm Aaron.
You know what's up. Usually we taste whiskey blind, but tonight we have a special episode, and our most sincere apologies to Four Roses. They sent us this package, and it was right when we were switching out from the house to the studio, and
it got buried. It got buried and forgotten and lost, and huge, big heart apology to Four Roses. These are the guys that got me turned on to bourbon. They're absolutely awesome if you haven't had it.
If you guys don't know, I'm a Four Roses fiend.
He is.
I spent at least a couple years trying to collect all 10 recipes. They do have 10 recipes, 2 different mash bills, and 5 different yeast strains. And this is the 4th Rose, which is their 4th addition to their main stable lineup, which is your standard yellow label. I don't have a small batch right now, which is tragic because I love those. But anyway, they look kind of like this. This is their limited edition. And they're
single barrel.
Single barrel. And now they're small batch select, which, as you can see, we've been enjoying thoroughly.
Also, if you haven't had a chance to get down to the distillery, absolutely gorgeous distillery. Totally unlike anything else I think we've seen in the South. Total Southwest feel, along with Adobe type. I think it is actually Adobe, isn't it? I'm not sure. But they have, it's beautiful Southwestern architecture. Just a great all-around company.
So anyway, if you guys are wondering, here's what the inside of this looks like.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. So.
What's this? I haven't even seen this. I didn't even know this existed. It got squirreled away before I could even see it.
The small batch select consists of 6 of their 10 recipes.
Oh, that's cool.
Each aged at least a minimum of 6 years. And it is bottled at 104 proof, non-chill filtered, for those of you that like that kind of thing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't like it. I just think some people make a bigger deal out of it than it is. But
what is chill filtered? I don't even know if anything I've had is.
Most bourbon is chill filtered.
Oh.
The bad part about that is
that's why you get crystals in your bourbon when it's
frozen.
Yeah.
Yes, it gets cloudy when it's frozen because I want to say the fatty acids or the fatty oils, they congeal when they're frozen or cold. That's why they chill filter it. They filter it when it's chilled, and that way it gets all that stuff out. So when you put your bourbon in the freezer, you don't get that cloudy look. A lot of people say you taste a lot better when it's not chill filtered or non-chill filtered, because you're leaving in all those oils and everything from the barrel. And so, yeah. Anyway.
That's why you char a barrel, is to get all that yumminess.
I mean, all the barrel yumminess, yeah.
So, anyway, we've got.
So anyway, that is, I have the regular small batch. You have the small batch select. So, I'm going to go ahead and pour this in each of our right glasses. And you can pour that.
But I don't have another glass.
Here, I'll pour that. Here you go.
No.
Boom sauce.
No.
Aaron was trying to use our glasses that we have available on our website. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Bourbonblindnation.com.
These 3 and was those 3.
It's not bourbonblindnation.
Bourbonblind.com.
There we go. I was like, that's not right. Leave me alone. Big one for big, not small. Or not small batch, or not select. The big is not select.
She is confusing herself way too easily.
No, big is not select.
Regular small batch, I freaking love this stuff, guys. It is one of those bourbons that I will easily drink neat and appreciate it, and it's amazing. But it also makes amazing cocktails, especially a mint julep. Oh man. Four Roses small batch and a mint julep is
Manhattan.
Amazing.
What he meant to say was Manhattan.
I mean that too, but yes.
Or a car bomb. Not car bomb. Car. Sidecar. Sorry, not car bomb.
I was like, oh, where you're going?
Whole other thing. Sidecar.
Anyway, this is fruity, spicy.
Definitely. A hint of vanilla and a hint of caramel. But mostly fruity and spicy.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to tell them what the difference is between the small batch and small batch select?
Small batch is 4 recipes. It is the OBSO, OBSK, OESO, and OESK. And a lot of people love those the OE strain. as well as the, especially the OESO. So if you look at a bottle of their single barrel, this one is labeled OBSV because that is their standard 100 proof single barrel. And the O is for the distillery, which all Four Roses is made at the Four Roses Distillery. All of it, no questions, done. The E, and then the next letter is either a E
or a B.
Either an E or a B. And the E is for their low rye mash bill, which is 20% rye. And even that is kind of high for your standard bourbon mash bill. A lot of them are in that like 14 to 18%. And then the B is the high rye mash bill, which is 35% rye, which is amazing, my favorite. S is for straight bourbon, which all of Four Roses is straight bourbon. They don't add junk to anything. It's all natural. And the last is either, let's see if I can do this, Q, V, F, K, and O. K and V are some of my favorites. Everyone loves the O. The Q and the F are wonderful also, but the V is just your standard bourbon goodness. That's the reason why they use it in the standard single barrel that's on the shelf, because it is so consistent and so just textbook bourbon. It's amazing. Anyways, let's get in here. And so the regular Four Roses small batch is 4 recipes. The small batch select is 6 recipes. So the small batch uses both of the mash bills of the O and the K yeast strains, where the small batch select uses the V, K, and F yeast strains of both mash bills. So, and like I said, they're each at least 6 years old, which makes this at least a 6-year bourbon. Anyway, I love this stuff. I know, but it's amazing.
What I always like is the fact that how consistent their single barrels are. Mm-hmm. If you get an OBSV off of their at the distillery, or whether you get it from almost anywhere, it's just really, really standard. Now, sister barrels or any barrels, there's slight differences, but
well, that's the magic of single barrels, is that they're all different.
But
yes,
there's a consistency.
Yes,
and I think Four Roses does it better than most.
I've had a lot of Four Roses single barrels just off the shelf, not even counting the barrel proof ones, and I don't think I've ever had a bad one. Some other distilleries, their single barrels, sometimes hit and miss.
I was gonna say consistency is.
Four Roses does not have that issue.
The consistency of them is very, very
Ooh,
good.
All right, I moved on to the small batch select.
So the small batch select is a little bit more muted. The flavors on this one are just not as bold. Still get your vanilla, still get your caramel.
I get a little more sweetness on the small batch select.
There's not much, just more spice. There's a little bit more caramel.
No, more
and
sweetness, more.
And not as much fruit.
So yeah, 104 proof versus 90 proof. Obviously, there's more there. Not more heat. No more ethanol. Just bourbon goodness. I'm getting in here.
I don't say this often, but I think I really like the small batch a little bit more than I like the small batch select.
Really?
That's saying a lot.
I do not feel that way. The small batch select is much more robust, much more flavorful.
On the mouth it is. On the nose it's not.
No. The select, much more thicker mouthfeel, likely from that non-chill filtered. Like I said, much more robust, just more flavor, more everything. I get more sweetness.
And I'm really wondering if my glassware is what's affecting me, but on the mouth, definitely more cinnamony too.
Oh man, it just clings to the side of the glass.
So the select has 6. The small batch has 4. This is why we do, this is kind of blind because I usually gravitate towards the single barrels. I really do like them. I think they're absolutely amazing. I'm not a big fan of Yellow Label. I think it gets disjointed for me. But I really do like both of these because you can mix them and everything else.
So our local liquor store here said he is, the way he put it is the small batch select is one of 2 bottles that he has never heard anything bad about from someone that's bought it. So if that tells you anything.
It's a great mixer. They're really good. It's a great, I wouldn't be sad if somebody poured me this. Either way.
You can tell that we've enjoyed it. I love it.
It's really good.
Four Roses, highly appreciated. Thank you so much.
And yeah.
That's really good. You know what else is really good? Sap 56. Sap 56 is a sponsor of today's video. And not just because they're a sponsor, but because this is amazing liqueur.
It really is. It's
yes.
super, super, it's got all the sweetness, but yet it's still only, this is what's striking to me, is it's 60 proof. And you can drink it straight or you can drink it over something.
It's a great mixer. It's 50% less sugar than your standard liqueur, and I think you can definitely taste that in the flavor.
Yeah, you can.
They use real maple syrup and grade A maple syrup straight from the trees that they harvest themselves, and at least 5-year-old Canadian whiskey, which is an 85% corn, 10% rye, and 5% malted barley recipe. And talking about Four Roses recipes, you can see that is close to a pretty typical bourbon mash bill. Anyway, it's well-aged whiskey, really well blended.
It's good.
Interesting because it's real on the nose. It noses like a regular bourbon, and then on the palate, you really get that maple syrup. But it's very well blended.
Yeah, I was about to say it doesn't have the. A lot of times when you hear maple, you're thinking like really thick, really like coats. I mean, like
it coats your mouth, but it's not
coats your mouth like a bourbon, not like a maple syrup.
Right.
And it's not overpowering. It has the perfect balance between your bourbon and your maple syrup. So I absolutely love it. It's not overly sweet. It has all of those notes, which a lot of times you really go towards the sweetness.
Yep.
I absolutely can't stand sweet. This is something that I could stand behind, and I can't wait to put it over some desserts.
I was going to say, you were talking about putting it over
I want to put it over ice cream, pound cake. There's nothing better than being able to start drinking your bourbon for a dessert that's straight and then adding it to something else. And with a price point around $30, you really can't go wrong.
No. Be sure to check them out. And also be sure to check out Small Batch Select if you haven't already. I'm sure you've seen so many people online already talking about it. And when they first launched this, it was only available in 5 states. Now it's available in over 30 states. So,
getting there. It's getting nationwide.
It is. They have plans to do all 50 states. They just have to roll it out, in progression. So
I wonder how many states this was in when we first got the box.
30 is more than 25, so odds are it's in your state.
Odds are also, if it's not in your state, you probably can get it in a state close to you.
Yeah.
I mean.
So if you travel or anything, be sure to check it out.
Pick up a bottle.
Four Roses in general, like I said, small batch, single barrel, small batch select, absolutely my favorites. So, anyways, Patreon people, absolutely love you guys. If you made it this far in the video, bravo to you guys.
Totally,
golf clap to you.
Big hearts.
Anyways, we are back from Utah, so we will be getting back to our regularly scheduled programming. And with that,
hey, check us out tonight. We'll be live.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Yep. So Fridays noon central, next regular episode. And until then, cheers and drink blind.
And drink often.
We want to give a huge shout out to all of our Patreon people. Absolutely thank you. You guys are freaking magical. T-shirts at Teespring, link in the description.
Also, thank you to anyone who has ever supported us, whether that's either coming on a live, chit-chatting with us on a Thursday night, or if you just like to watch our episodes, we appreciate every one of you.
Until Friday noon central next